The Supreme Court laid down that a governor cannot sit on key bills passed by a state legislature after casting doubts on the validity of the assembly session in which the proposed laws were passed with an overwhelming majority by the elected representatives of the people. Okay. Recently, there was a judgment by the Supreme Court which suggests that, or which says that if a governor has any doubt regarding the bills passed by a state legislative assembly, even if the bills were passed in a session with higher majority, then he cannot sit in the bills passed, sit on key bills passed by a state legislature after casting doubts on that session. Okay. So this marks the importance of governor. Okay, so our key topic from this recent event is the importance of the governor. As you know, that governor is always a discussed theme. Okay, so equally it's important in the UPSC exam as well. First, we are going to see the office of governor and the constitutional provision or constitutional articles which deals with office of governor. Okay. We were dealing with, or we were saying that regarding office of governor, we were going to look into the office of governor and mainly now the constitutional provisions. Okay. So you might have studied this in polity. Okay. But we are analyzing this because it is important in current affairs as well. So you should not leave this when you study governor. As you know, you'll be studying this when you study Lakshmikant, but in a like prelims manner. Or when you study Lakshmikant, there will be majorly regarding the constitutional provisions, when discretionary powers of the governor, etc. But we need an analysis when it comes to mains. Okay, so this governor topic is important for mains as well. That is why we are analyzing this one. Okay, so the constitutional provisions, Article 153 to 167, in which part? In part 6 of the Constitution deals with the state executive. Okay, state, now we have different parts for state executive and union executive as well. Okay, as you know that. So near mainly Article 153 to Article 167 deals with the state executive, and this comprises, or this articles are in the part 6. Okay, now who all are comprising of state executive is the next question. So governor, chief minister, council of ministers, and advocate general of the states. These 5 entities are mainly considered when we say state executive. Who all are there? Governor, chief minister, council of ministers, advocate general. Okay. Now, the office of governor, when it was started, or what is the basis or origin, genesis of office of governor? It is, we can trace the genesis from the Government of India Act of 1935. Okay, the genesis of the governor could be traced from Office of India Act, Government of India Act of 1935. So we were dealing with the office of governor, and the articles 153 to 167 deals with office of governor, and it comes in part 6. Okay, who all are you? Office of governor, rather it deals with the state executive, and who all are comes under the state executive? As we know that the governor, the hierarchy means the governor, chief minister, then chief minister along with his council of ministers, and also the advocate general. Then we were tracing the genesis of the governor, office of governor. We could trace its genesis from the Government of India Act of 1935. Okay, while we are discussing this, you should consider this as a revision session for your Lakshmikant as well. Okay, so it will be helpful for that. Helpful for you. We will be covering here analysis part as well as you can consider this as a revision session for what you studied from Lakshmikant. Okay. Now, what are the next comes the roles of office of governor? He has dual role. One is he acts as a chief executive head of the state, and second one is he acts as a central agent of the central government. Okay. Even when we discussed about the articles which deals with state executive, we said that he is the one of the key provisions or the one of the important authorities when state executive is considered, right? That is why he is the chief executive head of the state. Okay. But as we know, in the case of president, similar to president, governor is a nominal head. Okay. The real head is the prime minister in case of central government, and chief minister in case of state government. Okay. The governor is the chief executive head of the state. But like the president, he is the nominal executive head. Or nominal means titular or constitutional head. The actual head of the government becomes prime minister in the union and chief minister in the state. Okay. Next one is the governor also act as an agent of central government because he is appointed by the central government. So he acts as an agent between the central government and the state government. Okay, so he act as an agent of central government. So we talked about the dual roles of office of governor. One is that he is a chief executive of the state. Second one is he act as an agent of the central government. Okay. Now, this is regarding the explanation of the slide. Constitutional head of the, as we said, he is a nominal head or titular or constitutional head of the state. He represents the central government or are responsible for upholding the constitution in the state. That is why constitutional head of the state. Okay. Now, appointment of the chief minister is another role. Governor has the responsibility to appoint the chief minister on their advice the other members of the council of ministers. Okay. Governor appoints the chief minister and with his advice he appoints the other council of ministers. That is the second important rule. Third is regarding the discretionary powers. Okay. Now, discretionary powers, the powers may be of general category or general nature or of discretionary powers. Discretionary powers means something which is exclusive to the governor or exclusive to that post. Okay. Like that, the governor is also having some discretionary powers. The major one being he can advise or he can send the report, he can send the report to the president regarding whether presidential rule is required or not, whether presidential rule should be in the state or not. Okay. Presidential rule means Article 356. Okay. This comes in emergency. So I would suggest you to refer the, rather revise the emergency chapter as well, because it is also one of the important area where the questions will be asked. Okay. So discretionary powers. Discretionary powers means exclusive to that post. So here we are discussing about governor, and governor has the major, some of the important discretionary powers, even when we compare to the president. Okay. Accordingly, president is bound to listen or bound to aid and advice of the council of ministers in every scenario. But when we compare to that of the governor, governor has discretionary power regarding this as well. He will decide whether he has to take that advice or not. It is not binding or mandatory when it comes to the governor. So there are discretionary powers which are additional to the governor when we compare the president. So when you study this one, you should study comparing the president and the governor. Then it would be easy to remember as well. Okay. So this is not a polity class. That was not, that is why I'm not explaining that in detail. And I'm asking you to refer. I'm asking you to refer this because this is one of the most important chapters as well. Okay. And there is a likely chance or to ask this in exams, mains exams. If you refer to the previous year questions also, then you can see that governor is an important area from where the questions are asked. Okay. Be it in prelims or in mains. Discretionary powers includes matters like sending a report to the president, recommending the presidential rule in the state. Article 356. Okay. Is this page okay? Do I need to slow down? Regarding the legislative powers. Okay. Legislative powers means we know that we have a separation of power. Moreover, they are interdependent, but still we have a separation of power. Okay. So legislative powers, executive powers, and judiciary powers are the legislative, executive, and judiciary. We first saw that the governor is a part of the state executive, right? But then also he has certain legislative powers as well, like summoning and proroguing the legislative assembly, dissolves the state legislature. They have also the power to give assent to the bills passed by the legislature, withhold it, or send to the president for consideration. Okay, so legislative powers are also present to the governor, similar to that of the president. Okay, next one is fiscal responsibilities. He ensures that the budget is presented in the state assembly and has the power to sanction money for advance expenditures. Okay, these are the physical responsibilities. Then ceremonial functions. The governor performs various ceremonial duties like hosting and receiving state guests, presiding over an important state functions, and representing the states on ceremonial occasions. Okay. Next one is regarding the pardoning power. Okay. So pardoning power means president at the similar to president at central level. The governor has the power to grant pardons, reprieve, respite, or remissions of punishment in certain cases. Here the highlight is certain cases. Why? Because governor, president, when we consider the president, he can pardon the death penalty as well. But the death penalty couldn't be pardoned by, or that power of pardoning is not present when in case of governor. The governor can't pardon, or governor is not having the power to pardon death penalty. Okay. And when we consider the president, he has the ability to, or he has the power to uh, uh, respond to cases, or he has power to see the cases in the military, like court martial, etc. But that power is also not present when we consider the case of governor. So that is why here certain cases are important. So, like president, he can pardon, respite, reprieve, remit certain punishment of certain cases. But important fact to be remembered here is he cannot pardon the death penalty. Okay, death penalty could be pardoned only by the president. That is the most important thing. Now, promotion of culture and education. As the chancellor of state universities, governor plays an important role in promoting education and culture in the state. Okay, so we were discussing about the role of governor. Initially, the first one is the regarding his discretionary powers. Okay, majorly he is the constitutional head of the state. That is the most important power, right? He is responsible for the constitutional validity, or and exercising the constitutional moralities, constitutional laws in the country. Okay, he is the constitutional head of the state. Next one is he is the his role is appointing the chief minister and also the other ministers according to the recommendation or advice of the chief minister. The next one is he has some legislative powers. Legislative powers like summoning, proroguing, even dissolving the state legislature, or he can decide whether the bill needs to be sent to the president or withhold, etc. Okay, these are some of the legislative powers of the governor. Then we talked about the discretionary powers. Discretionary powers means these are exclusive to the governor. Okay, so in that he can write a report recommend to the president recommending whether presidential rule is recommending the presidential rule in the state. Okay, next one, he is the responsible for promoting the cultural and educational arenas of the state, being the vice chancellor of the universities, being the chancellor of the universities. Okay, then the next one is he will be the ceremonial head in the functions, or the in the ceremonies which are representing the state. Okay, these are some of the roles of the governor to be discussed. Now, what is the issues with the governor is the second matter, or second thing which we are going to analyze. We missed this pardoning power thing. Okay, pardoning power, he has the pardoning power similar to that president, but the difference is that he has no ability to pardon the death sentence or death penalty given by the courts. Okay, that power, pardoning power, is only there when in the case of president. Now, what are the issues? Okay, First one is, as we said, that he will be a central agent or agent to the central government, right? So, and the governor is appointed by the central government. So, in most of the cases, the appointment will be politically motivated. Okay. The post has been reduced to become a retirement package for the politicians for being politically faithful to the government of the day, which questions the impartiality and non-partisanship of the post. See, similar to president, president is considered to be the constitutional head of the country, right? Nominal head of the country or head of the first citizen. He is considered to be the first citizen because he is the top head or nominal head of the country. Similarly, when we consider the state, the governor is also having the equal importance. So the governor post is expected to be non-partisan and impartial. Okay. Okay. So we are discussing about the governor, office of governor. Okay. Constitutional provisions are discussed and issues were also discussed. Now we are going, roles are also discussed. Now we are discussing the issues. Okay. Now, the first issue is the politically motivated appointments. So, as I said, the importance of the president is president in the country. Why is similar to that of the importance of governor when we consider state? Okay. So, the post is expected to be of impartial nature or non-partisan nature. So, when the appointment becomes a politically motivated one, there will be a question in the non-partisanship or impartiality of the post. Okay, that is the first issue. Second one is violation of conventions. Okay, so we know that there are certain constitutional provisions also, and there are certain conventions also which are followed when we consider the laws or legislature purposes, legislature or executive formalities or functions. Okay, so such one convention is that when the governor is appointed, there will be consultation, or there is a convention of consulting the chief minister of the state when governor is appointed. But the convention is not always followed. Okay, this is one of the next issue with the appointment of or with the office of governor. Okay, violation of conventions. The conventions of consulting chief minister while appointing the governor is not followed in most cases. Okay. Next one is removal of governors. Even when the removal or the grounds on which the governor should be removed, or what are the conditions with which governor needs to be removed is not written. Okay, so this gives a discretion, or this gives a power for the other government who appoints him, like central government, the power to remove him without any efficient or exclusive grounds. Okay, this marks a questions to the, or this brings an issue when we consider office of governor. There are no written grounds or procedures regarding the removal of the governor. Hence, in several cases, governors are removed on whimsical grounds, that is, on baseless grounds. Okay? Mainly politically motivated. Similar to the appointments, this removal could also be politically motivated. The example for that is after the general election of 2014, which saw a change in the central government, there were reports of several governors appointed by the previous government being asked to resign. Okay, these are some of the issues or instances we can see from the different aspects of the country or different areas of the country. Next one is indirect control by union government. President works on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, and government holds office during the pleasure of the president. In effect, the office of the governor is under the control of the ruling government at the center. Okay, we know that governor is the chief agent of the central government. Okay, he works, or he is, the removal is grounds are not documented, means that are not defined. So there can be a politically motivated removal also. Why? Because one of the major reason is the term of the governor is decided based on the pleasure of the president. Okay, The pleasure of the president determines whether the term of the office governor. Okay, so that is one of the reason why the governor becomes also inclined to the central government, or he becomes a indirect. He comes under the indirect control of the union government. Okay, union government. No, no, depending on the pleasure of the government. Example, in January 2023, the governor refused to read some parts of the governor's address at the beginning of the session of Tamil Nadu Assembly because he is more into the central government's indirect control or union government's indirect control because the appointment is decided by them. The pleasure of the president decides the removal. No grounds are documented. So indirectly, there will be an inclination to the central government. Okay. Next, regarding the misuse of discretionary powers. Okay. So the governor's discretionary powers to invite the leader to the of the largest party or alliance post-election to form the government has often been misused to favor a particular political party. Okay, usually we know that the leader of with the larger support usually becomes the lead, leader of the largest party or alliance post-election to form the government. Okay, the governor also make appointments to several posts in consultation with executive. However, on several occasions, has been criticized for making appointments without consulting the state government. Okay. So, also one of the other discretionary power is regarding the presidential rule. Okay. Regarding the governor can submit report to the president recommending the presidential rule. Okay, so this is one of the discretionary power of the governor. This is also sometimes being misused. Okay, so regarding various appointments, the discretionary power is misused. Regarding the presidential rule case, the discretionary power is misused. Even when the government invites the governor invites the leader with a majority of votes to form a government, the discretionary power of the governor is misused. Okay, in various cases, the discretionary, as we know that the discretionary power of governor is higher compared to that of president. Okay, that is the reason why the discretionary powers of governor is the most important one, and we look upon into it. Okay, so the powers of the discretionary powers of the governors are often getting misused. This is one of the issues. Okay, now. Recommendation for this president's rule. This is the other discretionary power. Governor has discretionary power regarding Article 356. Okay, this deals with presidential rule. However, despite judicial guidelines in SR Bommai case, this provision is abused by political parties in power at center to dismiss government in state governed by parties in opposition. Okay. See, as we said that the discretionary powers, the government has the largest number of discretionary powers or higher discretionary power compared to president. So one of the major discretionary power is regarding the presidential rule. Okay, so he can submit a report to the president recommending the presidential rule. Okay, so this is often misused. So in SR Bommai case, there were many judgments regarding this one. In SR Bommai case, the Supreme Court judgment says that if there is only relevant grounds for that, when constitutional mechanism is not followed in the state or like that, the conditions which if it satisfies, then only presidential rule could be advised, okay, or recommended by the governor to the president. But often this is also misused, okay. Which will result in suspending the governor of the suspending the government of the state. Okay, often this happens when the government of the state is in opposition parties to the central government. Now, functioning as an agent of political party, governor are not shy of revealing their partisan preference. For instance, in recent times, governor have exhorted voters to vote for a particular party. Governor of Rajasthan has been charged with the violation of Model Code of Conduct. Okay. So as we know that the politically motivated appointment means they will have an inclination to that politics, that political party rather. Okay. So here also they will also sometimes act as a functional agent of the political party. One of the instances is the governor recommended the voters to vote for the particular party. This is not expected from a constitutional head of the state. Okay, the constitutional head of the state should be impartial or with should work with non-partisanship. So this is another issue. Okay. Now, consideration of bills. This is also one of the other power of the government. Now, first one is regarding the pocket veto. Pocket veto is there is meaning. What is pocket veto? Yes, keeping the bill as such, keeping the bill in the pocket. That is without consideration or without giving the bill for or withstanding or assent or nothing like that. Okay. So the one of the major problem with the pocket veto is the time frame is not given for that. Okay. This will lead to delay in the bill. Okay. Now, as the constitution makes no mention of the time frame for taking decision, governors sometimes withhold bills without giving assent to or returning the bill, thereby keeping the bills in limbo or status quo without giving or without considering anything, just being in a status quo. Okay. Now, the second one is regarding the reservation of bill. Article 200, governor has discretionary power to reserve any bill for president's signature, but they often take months to reserve the bill for assent of the president. Okay, some bills needs assent from the president as well, and when it is passed or when it is introduced into the state legislative assembly, governor has the power to reserve the bill for president's assent. But then also the governor saves this bill or withstand or reserves this bill months from giving us from the next procedure. Okay, this is also one of the misuse or issues with the office of governor. So we were discussing about the issues with the office of governor. First one is politically motivated appointment and also in the removal. Appointment is mainly central government inclinated and done by central government, and political persons are usually appointed as governors. So there will be an inclination to the central government. Next one is regarding the removal. When we consider removal, the grounds of removal or criteria of removal is not mentioned. Also, the term of the governor is depending upon the pleasure of the president. Okay, this will also lead to issues because it will finally result in favor to the central government, right? Next one is regarding the similar to the political inclination. We have seen instances of governors asking for voting for the political parties. Okay. Also, we can see that there is no respect of the conventions which were followed. Meaning in some appointments there need to be consultation with the chief minister, etc. But the convention is not followed. Okay. Next one we can see regarding the discretionary powers. Okay, one of the discretionary powers is regarding the reservation of bills, either regarding pocket veto or regarding the assent, reservation of bills regarding for the assent of the president. Okay, next one is regarding the discretionary powers regarding to the presidential rule. Okay, presidential rule. This will also result in the disruption in the state peace or state arena. Okay, so these are some of the issues regarding the office of governor. Next one, as we saw that there are several judgments regarding the office of governor. Often the office of governor's partisanship or non-partisanship or impartiality is often questioned. Okay, this has resulted in many judgments. So one of the most important judgment is SR Bommai case. Okay, the SR Bommai case, based on the report of the Sarkaria Commission, the Supreme Court in SR Bommai case enlisted the situations where the exercise of power under Article 356 could be proper or improper. Okay, meaning when all the president governor can recommend the presidential rule. That is the major concern or the grounds in which the presidential rule could be proper and improper is suggested by SR Bommai case. Okay, next one is Nabam Rabia judgment. Supreme Court in this case ruled that exercise of governor's discretion under Article 163 is limited. This choice of action should not be arbitrary or fanciful. It must be a choice related to reason, accentuated by good faith and tempered by caution. Okay. Now, these are some of the judgments. When you write a mains answer, you should consider regarding the judgments as well. You should validate your point regarding with the using of judgments. Okay. Now, what are the way forward? There are many recommendations by different commissions actually. Sarkaria Commission, Punji Commission, even second RC reports regarding the Office of Governor, how Office of Governor could be made or how Office of Governor should be so that these issues could be resolved or for the betterment of the state. Okay. So we are now seeing two commissions, recommendations, mainly of Sarkaria Commission and second RC. You can add another others as well. Okay. Mainly when we see Sarkaria Commission, select governor, the first recommendation is based on, like select governors based on eminence from outside the state, detached from local politics and with minimum recent political activity. Okay. That means political inclination of the governors could be stopped by that. The political involvement of the governor should be minimum. And he should be an eminence person, means he should be an expert in something, or it should be an eminent person when we consider the role of a governor. Okay. Now, no post-retirement office. Often we see that when the members or the officers are retired from their services, they are often considered to be in the post of governors. Okay. Usually when we see someone of higher important post, okay, higher important post, example, Supreme Court judges, etc. After their retirement, they are often considered for posts like governors, etc. So this should be stopped. Okay, the person appointed as a governor should be of eminence person, but with less political inclinity. Okay. Now, next one is stable tenure. As we saw that depends on the pleasure of the president. So, in addition or contrary, there should be a stable tenure for the government. Also, sparing the use of Article 356. As suggested by SR Bombay case, there should be specific grounds on which the Article 356 could be initiated or could be recommended by the governor to the president should be involved. Okay, there should be listing of specific grounds in that. Okay. Now, confidentiality with chief minister. Involve the chief minister in confidential report unless there are serious reasons not to. There we can always see a tussle between the chief minister and the governor in the state arena, right? To avoid that, involve the chief minister as well when confidential reports are considered. Okay, so this is to avoid the tussle between the chief minister and the governor. Okay, these are some of the recommendations by the Sarkaria Commission. Okay, first one they recommended was like the person who we consider governor should be a non-political one, or that one person having a lesser political inclination. Next one they suggested was regarding the stable tenure, and also no post-retirement appointment should be done. Next one is regarding the use of Article 356. 356 means presidential rule. It should be considered or it should be listed with sufficient grounds or exact definite grounds actually rather. And also to stop the tussle between or to reduce the tussle between chief minister and governor, two important constitutional offices of the state, to reduce the tussle between them, there should be involvement of the chief minister when confidential reports are considered. Okay. Now, these are the recommendations of second ARC. First one is regarding the experienced public officers as governors, similar to that of the Sarkaria Commission. They recommended for people of eminence, similar to that, public figures with eminent personalities or figures as governors. Okay. Next one is no reappointment of the governor. That is the next additional recommendation by second ARC. The governors should not be reappointed. We can often see governors are reappointed again and again. Okay, this will also increase the political inclination to the central government, right? To reduce this, then there should not be any reappointment. Now, no judges as governors. As I said before, The one by Sarkaria Commission also suggests this. But they post-retirement office should not be made. That was the recommendation. Here, no, specifically, no judges as governors. Okay. Consultation with Chief Minister before appointing the governor. This was a convention, and this convention should not be violated. This is the recommendation of the second ARC. Often, when we discuss the issues, we saw that this convention is often violated. So, second ARC, according to the second ARC recommendation, this convention should not be violated to prevent the tussle between the Chief Minister and the governor. Okay. Now, establish guidelines for governors' discretionary powers through the interstate council. Okay, as I said before, there is a higher discretionary power to governor compared to the president, and also the discretionary powers are such that the various other important provisions are also included in this, like example, presidential rule, reservation of bills, etc. Okay, so there should be a separate listing of the discretionary powers of the governor. Okay. So what we discussed was regarding the role of governor or the office of governor. This is an important part for both prelims and mains. For prelims, you should identify what are the discretionary powers, who appoints them, removal, etc. Whether it is stated in the has grounds in the constitution, etc. For mains, you should analyze. Should have the analysis part. What we discussed regarding the role of the governor, issues, what are there, and regarding the way forward, how could this be tackled? Okay.